again to VoiceCon Amsterdam. I'm Eric Krapf, Program Co-Chairman here of the VoiceCon Amsterdam event and editor of NoJitter.com. I'm here with Joel Waterman of IBM, and Joel is in command of this complex of pods here that IBM has, and IBM has been a terrific presence at the show, and also obviously a major impact on the industry as IBM has moved into unified communications. Tell us maybe, Joel, a little bit about what you have here at VoiceCon.
Sure, Eric, thanks very much. VoiceCon is important for us. We have a fairly simple message. We're about unified communication and collaboration. And everything we try to show here, either in the booth or in the keynote speech, is about those two elements, unified communication and collaboration. How can you create value for end users, for businesses that sits on top of their networks, whether they're converged networks, whether they're regular networks, or whether they're the telecommunication infrastructure that our partners have put together. So our emphasis is in those elements. We think the business value comes out of the collaboration elements that we can bring to bear for a customer, whether that's like we showed in the keynote speech, regular instant messaging via the Sametime client, whether that's screen share, whether that's turning your inbox into a collaborative workspace because you can add expertise location, or you can add collaborative document management on the fly, or whether it's to provide soft phones with call management and call routing features that are integrated into your application. And integrating into your application we take very seriously. We have in pure IBM tradition, of course, open APIs, and what we're showing here with our partners, our telecoms partners, is that whether it's our software, our Sametime software, or our call routing software, it's open. It takes advantage of existing infrastructure. If a customer has multiple PBXs from Nortel, from Avaya, or Cisco, they just bought a company with another one, what we can offer them is a unified client that goes across these type of infrastructures. And what we've talked about in the Sametime, and we previewed this technology, because we haven't released this yet, is the Sametime unified telephony. And that's the technology that gives you this unified client. That's not available yet, but the other technologies like Sametime, which is screen share, instant messaging, has access to collaborative environments like Lotus Connections, for example, or Lotus Quicker, with which you can do this ad hoc document management or expertise location. That's available right now. The openness is important. If you walk around the booth here, you can see multiple telecoms vendors which we integrate. And what you can also see is important is what we call evidence of a communication-enabled business process. Don't look at our software as just another client you have to deploy. Look at our software as capabilities around instant messaging, around expertise location, around instant document sharing, around call management and call routing, which you can add to any type of application you have. Whether it's an SAP application, whether it's an HR application, a portal, or another business application in your call center, for example, or like we discussed at the session is, for example, you got a healthcare application where people need to collaborate around specific x-rays, and these people may be in different places of the world. So there's a screen share going on, there's a chat going on, there's instant phone calls or instant video calls going on. So we're trying to communication enable a business process or a business application with as rich as possible, communications possibilities that are as rich as possible and as varied as possible, adjusted to the business application, to the specific network situation that we encounter across the world.
And tell us a little more about some of your partners that you have here. Who have you brought with you?
We've brought Nortel, we've brought Avaya, we've brought Cisco here. We work together with Polycom. Our partner network is huge because of the openness of our application and because also of our strategy of including partners in these types of infrastructures. So what we're showing with Nortel are integration into business applications, for example. We have retail applications from Nortel, which we communication enabled with our Sametime software. which we can add instant messaging to. We can add expertise location to. There's some very interesting demos where we can show the shopper of the future. How does a shopper interact and seamlessly move from a real experience to a mobile experience to an online experience? And those types of applications are very interesting. With Cisco, of course, we have strong integration with their telepresence and their IP phones networking capabilities. With Avaya, we have a fantastic banking application. If you're thinking about banking of the future, whether that's internal applications or extranet applications, those applications need to be communications enabled with our software. So we're showing these integrations. With Polycom, we're showing desktop video integration, for example. So there are all these different types of elements that are part of a unified communications infrastructure that we can help enable with our software capabilities.
And I'm sure, particularly in this market climate, the idea of the investment protection of integrating what you have and being open must be a story that customers are receptive to.
They are receptive to it. I also think it's a story that's very traditional and very pertinent to IBM. You know, we've always had this approach, and I think it's a reality as well. If you've just invested in a large infrastructure that has a specific shelf life, that has a specific role within your environment, the rip and replace message has never been an IBM message, and it has continued to do so with our new infrastructures in the area of UCC, or Unified Communications and Collaboration.
Now, and I believe you also have the IBM Services Organization represented here, and obviously what gets talked about a lot with unified communications is the need that a lot of customers will have for systems integration, for someone who can come in as a third party and help unify their deployment and pull together these other vendors. I take it that's another message.
Exactly, and I'm glad you mentioned it, because implementation services are key to the success of these types of architectures. These architectures are fairly complex. They have integration issues with existing systems which have to be taken into account. Not only do we need to do network health checks, do you have sufficient bandwidth, and how do I use and how does the customer use the network capabilities that are available to these applications? So we go all the way from network health checks to implementations and deployment plans to cost of implementation, or ROI, or business value assessment engagements. And our services team, the global technology services people, the global business services people who take more of a consulting angle, can do all these types of services. We integrate and work with our partners, so we can do Cisco integrations, we can put together networks and IP phones and add those communication applications to it. And we work with our partners, we work with system integrators, and we also have, of course, the global technology services teams you can see on the booth here with these various types of implementation services.
Well, Alan Waterman, thank you very much for being here in Amsterdam with us, and thanks for talking to us.
My pleasure. Thank you.